Welcome once more to GeeKlassic, the series of videos where I look back at films that existed before my channel ever began, and today we're in our last stop before I take a look at Toy Story 4 tomorrow. Today we're reviewing Toy Story 3, which came back in 2010 and was directed by Lee Unkrich, and it brings back Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, everyone we know and love from the Toy Story franchise. It has been, realistically, within this film's world, 11 years since Toy Story 2. And Andy is now moving to college, he has grown up, and he doesn't play with his toys anymore. And he is ready to leave some in the attic, throw some stuff out, and he's planning on bringing Woody with him to college. But after a mix-up, our heroes get left at Sunnyside Daycare, and Woody tries to rescue them, but they are ready to give up on Andy because they feel that Andy has given up on them. Before we go into how the movie unfolds, which you guys know I love to talk about with these full-on spoilers, reviews, and analysis of older films, let's talk about our villain, Lotso. My biggest problem with Toy Story 2 is that it didn't need Stinky Pete as a villain, because we had a human villain. This villain, however, this toy villain, is the perfect antithesis to our heroes. He's the one who got rejected. He's the one who took that rejection upon himself and started to view life as a toy in a whole nother manner. He was given up on, as our heroes feel like Andy is giving up on them. Everything that Lotso symbolizes is everything that our heroes were ready to give up on. A love of a single child that's ready to love them for their entire lives. And as we know, Andy wasn't giving up on his toys. He was ready to put them in the attic and keep them for when he came back home. He wanted to play with them some more. And at the end, we see that Andy is able to share that love with another child and let her have that happiness that he had in his childhood. I love Toy Story 3. I love how it deals with mortality, with abandonment, with rejection. Real adult topics that we know Pixar doesn't shy away from in any of their films, be it Toy Story or not. But this one especially, to me, is their magnum opus. Toy Story 3 is Pixar's masterpiece. It's their best film, Toy Story or not. I love this film. Let's start with something I always leave for the end in these reviews. That's the animation. Of course, it's been 11 years since the last Toy Story, and Pixar has made films in between, but this animation, just watch this film, 9 years later, even though I do say in every Pixar review that they get better literally with every film they put out, this film, it feels like it came out yesterday. The movements of these characters, the colors, the shadows on each shot, even the human movements, you can practically feel the clothes everyone is wearing. You can practically feel the material that each toy is made with. The plastic, the metal, the translucent materials, the cloth, the vinyl that Woody is made of. Everything looks phenomenal. Especially some of these wide shots when you have characters in big environments. Sure, this shot is a dump, but just take a look at the lighting, the shadow, the positioning of every single part that composes this shot. For instance, or this one where toys are lifting Woody up. It's mesmerizing, and I cannot imagine how much work is put into a single shot of this film. Now imagine how much work is put into the entire film. I applaud Pixar always for every single one of their films, but this one deserves a special mention. Now let's go into the story. And as always, I love to talk about the story and see how the film progresses. Once they get to Sunnyside Daycare, we find out how crappy kids can be to toys. I myself was one at the time. Once they enter into the room, the kids just basically destroy them, they chew on them, they try to eat the toys, they lick them, they put paint on them, they step on them, they jump on top of them. It hurts so much after following these characters for 2 films and seeing the life from a toy's perspective, the abandonment, the falls they take, how much it hurts sometimes, and then we see just basically destruction on them. It's basically seeing a fight scene in the film, but one of the characters is not fighting back. It's just being beat up over and over. And we see the torture that they go through. I myself was at one point one of these kids. Not as aggressive, but I used to chew like tips of toys, like the tips of their hair, the tips of some of the armor they would have on. I sucked until a certain point where I cherish them. But I love seeing how they still try to adapt because they long for that love of a child. They long to be played with, especially Rex, who cannot wait to be played with, and he approaches the door and then gets thrown into the other side of the room. It's really bittersweet to see how much effort they're trying to put into it. And soon enough, at night, since our heroes are tired and completely worn out, Buzz follows some of the toys from the daycare and finds out that they were put on their room on purpose because it's kind of a hierarchy. It's a pyramid scheme, and Lotso has put himself on top of it. And they capture Buzz, they put him on demo mode, which is pretty interesting, let's face it. But the interesting part is yet to come. The best part of Buzz and his demo, not demo mode, is yet to come. So our heroes get put into cages while Woody tries to escape from Sunnyside Daycare, and he gets taken to Bonnie's home, and he meets her toys, and he finds some type of happiness, some recognizable happiness there. But still, he wants to go home because he knows Andy is taking him to college. Now, as Woody gets to know Bonnie's toys and he tries to find out the way home from Bonnie's home, he finds out the truth about Lotso and his pyramid scheme, but Bonnie also rescued who was once a fellow toy of Lotso, Chuckles. They belonged to a little girl named Daisy, and that's when Lotso turned. Once upon a time, Daisy forgot them on a day out, and then she just bought another Lotso. He was heartbroken, and something changed inside him. Something twisted, something snapped, as Chuckles says. But she only replaced Lotso, not Chuckles and not Big Baby. But still, Lotso became a tyrant, a totalitarian titan that rules over all toys and doesn't see another point of view, another way of life. So when Woody goes back to Sunnyside Daycare and tries to get his friends out, they arrange this really, really great plan, which, by the way, they have to take care of the monkey. These toys always sucked, but especially after seeing this film, they suck all the more. And so they take care of the monkey, they make their way outside, over into the garbage disposal, and yet Lotso is there waiting for them. But before that, there's this great moment where they try to put Buzz back into normal and bring his memories back, but they accidentally press the button too long. Rex presses the button too long, and Buzz turns Spanish.
Bitácora espacial. Me he despertado del hipersueño en un planeta extraño.
Now what did you do?
I just did what you told me.
Estoy rodeado por criaturas extrañas y desconozco sus intenciones. ¿Quién anda ahí? ¿Amigo o enemigo?
Amigos. We're all amigos.
Me debo de haber estrellado y se me ha borrado la memoria. ¿Han visto mi nave espacial?
We gotta switch him back.
And Spanish Buzz Lightyear is the greatest thing ever. And Spanish Buzz Lightyear sees Jesse, he falls in love, but he sees some competition with Woody. El Vaquero, he says. I love Spanish Buzz Lightyear so freaking much. Spanish Buzz Lightyear is amazing, but I always wonder, and this is thanks to a friend on Twitter who pointed this out, I always wondered how this works in the Spanish dub of Toy Story. So if you know, let me know in the comments below.
Mi florecilla del desierto. Yo nunca había visto la verdadera belleza hasta esta noche.
Did you fix Buzz?
Sort of.
So Lotso is there waiting for them, but Woody mentions Daisy, and he has this little heart that Big Baby had on it. And Lotso gets mad, he smashes it up, and Big Baby finally turns on him, and Sunnyside Daycare eventually turns for the better. And Lotso eventually grabs onto Woody, and all of our heroes and Lotso get thrown into a garbage truck. They're on their way to the dump, and they get there, and still our heroes try to save Lotso because they are so good in their hearts. I love our heroes so much. And Lotso has a chance to pay them back in kind, but he doesn't stop the hallway, and we have one of the most haunting yet beautiful scenes in the whole Toy Story franchise. If not for the ending of this film, this might be my #1 favorite moment in Toy Story, where they're actually ready to die together as friends. They're ready to die together as they lived. It's a beautiful moment. It's a moment where the emotion of all these films reaches an all-time high, and yet the aliens have found a giant claw and they save them. I love this because it epitomizes what Pixar does best. Even in emotional moments, they can find something to laugh at or to chuckle with relief. And the opposite happens as well. There are moments where you're kind of laughing, but there's emotion there. Like, for instance, when Chuckles is telling his story, he is this toy clown who doesn't smile, and he has this kind of old noir type of voice telling his story, and it's a clown telling it. You could laugh at it, but there's still a lot of emotion in it. And so our heroes escape. Lotso tries to run away, but Sid catches him and puts him in front of his dump truck, and our heroes go back to Andy's house. They say goodbye to one another. Most of the toys go into the attic box, and Woody is ready to go into the college box. Buddy writes on a little note Bonnie's address. Andy takes his toys to Bonnie. He looks on them one last time in a manner that he hadn't looked at them in years. And for one last time, he presents them as he looked at them in life, as he played with them, and he delivers them to Bonnie because he knows, he trusts that she will love them as he loved them and as they loved him. As they were there for his life, for him growing up, he's allowing Bonnie to have that happiness. And the ending of Toy Story 3 is just magnificent. This whole entire sequence of Andy just giving his toys and playing with them one last time is amazing. It's heartwarming, and it leaves me speechless all the times. I've seen this film so many times and I still cry watching it. I cried today watching it. And that's why I never gave any of my toys away. They're all in the basement back in my home, and I know that they're heavy because I never abandoned them. They're all together there. And I'm going to compose myself a little bit. Here's a cut. And as he's delivering all his toys to Bonnie, Bonnie looks into the box and says, "My cowboy, he's here." And Andy looks one last time to Woody, and he doesn't want to give him away because this is the one friend he's had since he has memory. This is his first friend that he ever had. He decides to give Woody to Bonnie, and we have a little playtime, a little really great montage that we have with Andy and Bonnie. And as Andy leaves, he says, "Thanks, guys," which is the best thing you could say. And Woody and all the toys say goodbye to them, and it's the perfect film. That's what Toy Story 3 is. Toy Story 3 is hilarious, heartwarming. It's a salute to everything the previous two films did. It reaches an all-time high in terms of funny, of emotion, of just everything. Seeing these characters, everything they've been through, spending 10 years, 11 even, without them, to see them reach this point, and after so many years without them having this type of climax, you just couldn't ask for anything better. Woody, Buzz, and just everyone involved, characters and everyone behind the scenes, the writers, the directors, the animators, they make this the most engaging and emotionally fulfilling return. And we thought at the time, goodbye for this magnificent series. I am giving Toy Story 3 an A+. Honestly, I wish I could give it a higher grade, but there isn't anything higher than an A+. Otherwise, I would. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. We've reached the end of our journey to Toy Story 4, and tomorrow I'll give you my review for that. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and let me know what you guys want to see for our next GeeKlassic series. Thank you guys once again for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow in my review for Toy Story 4, and check out my reviews for Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 1 as well. Thank you so much. Once more, you guys are the best. I love you from the bottom of my heart. So until next time, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button, click the bell, it's down there, so we can be geeky united.